Welcome to another MP4Nation.net player and review. Today we have the new SciPhone G2 with Google. The phone, first I just want to clear up, it doesn't use Google Android. It simulates Google Android user interface, meaning it's a clone. It is a tri-band phone, touchscreen with a 4 megapixel camera. Does not have Wi-Fi, unlike some previous specs that were released before this thing came out. Comes with this cool little charger, the little Android. Your headset, your data cable, and a battery. Here's the phone itself. It does have a nice touchscreen, quite responsive. I wouldn't say it's the best touchscreen I've ever seen. It's very sleek, very slim. It does come with a built-in stylus. It does have a 4 megapixel camera, or what SciPhone claims to be a 4 megapixel camera. I'm not going to vouch for that at all because, the propensity of Chinese manufacturers to lie about their specs is, well, a lot. So, anyway, here's the back, and you can see it says with Google, and when they mean that, it means that there's shortcuts to Google search and Gmail. So, that's with Google. Here's the back of the phone. It does support one SIM card, and again, it is a tri-band phone. It has a slot for a micro SD card. It comes with a 1 GB card, but it can handle up to an 8 GB micro SD card. Battery. Oh. Again, the phone is lightweight, and it doesn't feel cheap. So, that's a plus side. For a lot of the Chinese phones, they tend to feel sometimes cheap and, poor quality. This, it doesn't really feel that way. It does feel like a nice phone. The user interface, although it's not Android, and it's been made to replicate the look of Android, it is actually very nice looking. Obviously they took it from Google, but, how they've done it is actually really nice, so it's not a shoddy job. Here's your standard layout. You have your working clock here, your quick links there, contacts, messaging. There's no SIM card in here, but your messaging is your standard messaging that you see on most set phones, China mobile phones. And just pull up the menu here, and again, you got your media player, you got your camera, your 4 megapixel camera. I wouldn't really say it's 4 megapixels, maybe like 2 megapixels at the most. It does have a nice thumbnailing option for images. Oh yeah, and it does allow for photo printing, so if you have a photo printer, you can hook it up through the data cable and do that way. Again. Alright. Oh, okay, that's because I have to keep moving this way. Like I said, it's not the best touchscreen I've seen. I can't get this to move. What is that? Alright, the scroll, the picture scrolling isn't the best right now. Hey. You got your video coder, your Android video player. It plays MP4, 3GB file formats, just like your standard set phones. So the video playback quality isn't, the best. And it has a loudspeaker. Certainly, this phone isn't what I would recommend as your standard video player, so... Audio player, which does support album art. Maybe different, features. You got your different sound effects. Bluetooth, so if you want to do the audio output through your Bluetooth headset, that's a possibility also. You got your different options. Your volume buttons up here. And your voice recorder. It does have apps, which are basically, although it calls it Android apps, in reality it's just Java. So don't be, fooled by that. It has its Chinese apps, English apps. These are pre-built pre-installed ones. It comes with Opera Mini web browser built in. Of course, there's no SIM card, so I can't really show you how the GPRS works on this. Again, it doesn't have Wi-Fi. When SciPhone was touting this as a full-blown Android phone, they were saying that it would have Wi-Fi. It doesn't have Wi-Fi. Sure. Oh wait, I'm trying to get the. How do I get the key field up? Oh, there we go. Anyways, as you can see, I clearly haven't used this phone way too much, so. And you have instant messaging program already built in. And you can load your own Java applications, so it does have space for user apps. Clearly there's nothing in there right now. Ebook reader, so it reads text files, and it has games. And it plays Flash games and Java games. Overall, this has a nice user interface. It's certainly a much prettier interface than most of the set phones that are around. It does have a nice lot of features already built in. Your settings, your pen calibration. So you can scroll over there. But again, this is not an Android phone, so please don't mistake that. You can change the background and stuff. And it does have its limitations, but overall as a China mobile phone, it certainly has a nicer look and feel than your average set phone. Saying aside, it has its, the touchscreen has its limitations, there are its bugs, and, well, it is a sleek player, it is cheap, well, relatively. It should be no more than about $140 US right now. Probably come down a lot more in a little bit. So, anyway, here's a new SciPhone Dream G2, the non-Android but Android-looking phone. Head on over to mp4nation.net to check this out, or head on over to our forums to discuss this. Thank you.